Hi students, welcome to Nellai Adar Voice YouTube channel. Students, in 11th standard second unit, that is kinematics. First you need to understand what is the kinematics. Kinematics is the branch of physics. It is also a branch of mechanics which deals with the motion of object without taking force into account. Without taking force into account. Students, here the mechanics is classified into two types. Already you know that what is the mechanics. Mechanics means it is used to study about the motion of the bodies. Here it is classified into two types, that is kinematics and kinetics. So here the branch of physics is used to deals the motion of the object without taking a force into account, that is called kinematics. For kinetics means it depends upon the force. For kinematics it is not depend upon the force. So kinematics is the branch of mechanics which deals with the motion of the object without taking force into account. Students, in this unit, the basic concept of mathematics needed for analyzing motions in terms of its direction and magnitude is covered. So you are going to study about the basic mathematics for the analyzing of motions in terms of its direction and magnitude, and also you are going to derive the equations of motion by using the mathematical concept. Students, already you know, basically physics is an experimental science and the rest of on two pillar experiments and mathematics. Already you know that the physics it's covered experiments and concept of mathematics. The central aspect in physics is motion. Students, motion is the central aspect in physics. It is an important part in the physics. Motion is found at all level from microscopic level to macroscopic and galactic level. Okay, so motion is found at all level from microscopic level. Microscopic level means we are discussing in the motion of electron, motion of proton. Okay, so like this here we are discussing within the atom, that is a microscopic level. To macroscopic level and galactic level means here that is the planetary system and beyond, motion of earth, motion of moon. Okay, so that is an example for the macroscopic level. In short, the entire universe is governed by various types of motion. We know that. Okay, in the universe we know various types of motion. The study of various types of motion is expressed using the language of mathematics. Here we are using the mathematics to explain the various types of motion in the universe. For example, when 10 athletes run in a race, all of them do not run in the same manner. Students, already we know that when 10 athletes run in a race, all of them do not run in the same manner. Their performance cannot be qualitatively recorded by usage of words like fastest, faster, average, slower or slowest. Okay students, so the performance of the athlete cannot be qualitatively recorded by usage of words like fastest, faster, average, slower or slowest. So it has to be quantified. It has to be quantified. So you must know the meaning for the quantify. Quantifying means assigning numbers to each athlete's motion. What is the meaning for quantify? Quantifying means assigning numbers to each athlete's motion. Comparing these numbers, one can analyze how fast or slow each athlete runs when compared to others of motion. Is expressed using the language of mathematics. Okay students, so by using the language of mathematics we can compare these numbers and we can analyze how fast or slow each athlete runs when compared to others of motion. Next, concept of rest and motion. A person sitting in a moving bus is at rest with respect to a fellow passenger, but he is in motion with respect to a person outside the bus. Students, you need to understand clearly here. In this topic, you are going to understand what is the meaning for rest or motion. A person sitting in a moving bus is at rest with respect to fellow passenger, but he is in motion with respect to a person outside the bus. The concepts of rest and motion have meaning only with respect to some reference frame. Okay, students, you can understand that rest and motion by using some reference frame. To understand rest or motion, we need a convenient fixed reference frame. Students, it is the picture of the frame of reference. So, if we imagine a coordinate system, that is x, y, z, x, y, z, it is a coordinate system. We consider a coordinate system and the position of an object is described relative to it. The position of the object is described by the coordinate system. Then such a coordinate system is called frame of reference. What is the meaning for frame of reference? The frame of reference means it is a coordinate system, that is x, y, z. This coordinate system is used to explain the position of the object. Okay, that is called frame of reference. At any given instant of time, the frame of reference with respect to which the position of the object is described in terms of position coordinates like x, y, z. Okay, so the position coordinates x, y, z means that is the distances of the given position of object along the x, y and z axis. Is called Cartesian coordinate system. Is called Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, students, the position of the object is given by, or it is described in terms of position coordinates x, y, z. It is called Cartesian coordinate system. So, the frame of reference with respect to which the position of the object is described in terms of position coordinates x, y, z is called Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so this is a picture for the Cartesian coordinate system. Here, this Cartesian coordinate system give the position of the object. Okay, this is the x coordinate, y coordinate, z coordinate. Here the object is placed here. It is to be noted that if the x, y and z axes are drawn in the anticlockwise direction, then the coordinate system is called right-handed coordinate system. Right-handed coordinate system. Note it. Here the x, y, z is noted in anticlockwise direction. So this type of coordinate system is called right-handed coordinate system. That is called right-handed coordinate system. In physics, we conventionally follow the right-handed coordinate system, It is also shown in the figure x, y, z. It will be marking in anti-clockwise direction. So this, like conventionally in physics, we follow the right-handed coordinate system. So here the figures illustrate the difference between the left and right-handed coordinate system. Okay, so the first system is right-handed coordinate system, Z up. The coordinate Z up. Second one, left-handed coordinate system. You can note it. This is a x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. So in this diagram, the coordinates x, y, z, it is noted in clockwise direction. It is noted in clockwise direction. So this is a left-handed z up coordinate system. Next one, that is a right-handed y up. The axis y is up. Okay, here x, y, z is noted in anti-clockwise direction. So this is one of the right-handed y up coordinate system. Next one is left-handed y up direction, means here the x, y, z is noted in clockwise direction. So this is one of the left-handed coordinate system. Y is up. Students, next topic, point mass. To explain the motion of an object which has a finite mass, the concept of point mass is required and is very useful. To explain the motion of the object, here the concept of point mass is very important. So students, you must know what is the meaning for point mass. Here, mass of any object be assumed to be concentrated at a point. Here, mass of any object be assumed to be concentrated at a point, then this idealized mass is called point mass. Okay, so the point mass means here a mass of the object is considered as a point. A mass of the object is considered as a point, is a point mass. It has no internal structure like shape and size. It has no internal structure like shape and size. Mathematically, a point mass has finite mass with zero dimension. Mathematically, we consider a point mass has a finite mass with zero dimension. It has a meaning only with respect to a reference frame and with respect to the kind of motion that we analyze. Okay, a point mass, it has a meaning only with respect to a reference frame and with respect to the kind of motion that we analyze. Example, to analyze the motion of earth with respect to sun, earth can be treated as a point mass. To explain the motion of earth about the sun, the earth can be treated as a point mass. This is because the distance between the sun and the earth is very large compared to the size of the earth. Okay. Next example, if you throw an irregular object like a small stone in the air, to analyze its motion, it is simpler to consider the stone as a point mass as it moves in space. As it moves in space, the size of the stone is very much smaller than the distance through which it travels, so it is considered as a point mass. Okay, students, right? So the distance between the earth and the sun is very greater, so the earth is considered as a point mass. Like when the stone thrown in a space, the size of the stone is compared with the distance through which it travel is very small, so it is considered as a point mass. Next, types of motion. In our day-to-day life, the following kinds of motions are observed. First one, linear motion. What is meant by linear motion? An object is said to be in linear motion if it is moves in a straight line. An object is moves in straight line, it is said to be in linear motion. Example, a car moves in a straight line. An athlete running on a straight line. A particle falling vertically downwards to the earth. These are the example for the linear motion. What is the meaning for linear motion? An object is said to be in linear motion if it moves in a straight line. If it move in straight line, the object is said to be in linear motion. Next, circular motion. Circular motion is defined as a motion described by an object traversing a circular path. Circular motion is defined as a motion described by an object traversing a circular path. If the object moves in a circular path, that motion is called circular motion. Example, the whirling motion of a stone attached to a string. The whirling motion of a stone attached to a string. Okay, students? It is an example for the circular motion. Next, the motion of a satellite around the earth is also another example for the circular motion. The satellite moves in a circular path with respect to earth, that is a circular motion. Next, rotational motion. If any object moves in a rotational motion about an axis, the motion is called rotation. During rotation, every point in the object traverses a circular path about an axis, except the points located on the axis. Example, rotation of a disk about an axis through its center. Rotation of a disk. Next, the spinning of earth above its own axis. The spinning of earth about its own axis. These are the example for the rotational motion. Next, vibratory motion. If an object or particle execute a to and fro motion about a fixed point, it is said to be in vibratory motion. An object or particle execute a to and fro motion about a fixed point, it is called vibratory motion. The motion sometimes it is called as oscillatory motion. Example for the oscillatory motion, vibration of a string on a guitar. Vibration of a string on a guitar. Movement of a swing, it produces a to and fro motion. These are the example for the vibratory motion. Next, motion in one dimension. Let the position of a particle in space be expressed in terms of rectangular coordinates x, y and z. When these coordinates change with time, then the particle is said to be in motion. When these coordinates change with the time, the position of the particle in x coordinates or y coordinates or z coordinates change with the time means then the particle is said to be in motion. Students, you need to understand clearly here the position of the particle in a space expressed in terms of rectangular coordinates x, y, z. When these coordinate changes with the time, then the particle is said to be in motion. However, it is not necessary that all three coordinates should together change with time. Okay, it is not necessary to all the three coordinates should together change with the time. Even if one or two coordinates change with the time, the particle is said to be in motion. So by using that, we can classify that motion in one dimension, motion in two dimension, and motion in three dimension. First, we are going to discuss motion in one dimension. One dimensional motion is the motion of a particle moving along a straight line. If a particle moving in a straight line, the type of motion is said to be linear motion and also motion in one dimension. This motion is sometimes known as a rectilinear or linear motion. Okay, that only I explained here. In this motion, only one of three rectangular coordinates specifying the position of the object changes with the time. Okay, students, in this motion, only one of three coordinates specifying the position of the object changes with the time. It is a picture to explain the one-dimensional motion. If a car moves from position A to position B along x direction, then a variation in x coordinates alone, this type of motion is one of the motion in one dimension. Next, examples. Motion of a train along a straight railway track. An object falling freely under the gravity. These are the examples for the motion in one dimension. Next, motion in two dimensions. If a particle is moving along a curved path in a plane, then it is said to be in two-dimensional motion. If a particle moving along a curved path in a plane, then it is said to be in two-dimensional motion. In this motion, two of three rectangular coordinates specifying the position of an object change with the time. Among the three coordinates, two coordinates specifying the position of the object changes with the time. For instance, when a particle is moving in the YZ plane, X does not vary, but Y and Z vary as shown in figure. Students, note it. Here the X coordinate, it is not vary, only the particle is moving along the Y and Z direction. Here the motion of the particle is specified by using the Y coordinate and Z coordinate. This type of motion is one of the motion of a particle along two dimensions. Examples: motion of a coin on a carom board, an insect crawling over the floor of a room. These are the examples for the two-dimensional motion. Next, motion in three dimensions. A particle moving in usual three-dimensional space has three-dimensional motion. A particle moving in usual three-dimensional space has three-dimensional motion. In this motion, all the three coordinates specifying the position of an object change with respect to time. In this type of motion in three-dimensional, all the three coordinates specifying the position of the object. When a particle moves in three dimensions, all three coordinates x, y and z will vary. Examples: a bird flying in the sky, a random motion of a gas molecule. Students, you know the motion of the gas molecules. The molecules moves in a gas. That is one of the example for the three-dimensional motion. Next, flying of a kite on a windy day. These are the example for the motion in three dimensions. Thank you, students.